Okay, so delighted to be joined by Wales head coach to my left, Warren Gatland, and to his left, Captain Jac Morgan. If you could raise your hand for the first question, please. Yeah, here on the left. Yeah, thank you.
Warren, you said on Friday that you expected Wales to win today. Did you expect it to be with that record scoreline?
I thought it would be a close game. In fairness, we had a great week training in terms of preparation. Captain's run yesterday, the boys were extremely sharp. We made a couple of mistakes, and then I thought during the warm-up we looked sharp as well. So we've put a lot of work in the last 4 months as a team together, and we know that we're a team, a momentum team. We build on confidence in terms of performances, and we felt, I think you saw yesterday with Portugal that, they're not a bad side, and for last week, considering the number of changes we made, and we felt we didn't get enough credit for the Fiji performance, at 65 minutes or 67 minutes at 32-14. We felt we'd done the job and give away a yellow card and bring them back into the game, and everyone was talking about how unlucky Fiji were. So, we kept that pretty much to ourselves, but I thought today was an outstanding performance in terms of what we wanted to achieve, game management. We were blown a bit at half-time, but we knew that they were worse than us as well. So, and I thought we just went out there and controlled the second half fantastically well.
Yeah, one here, one two there.
Warren, what was the most pleasing aspect of that performance for you?
Oh, the fact that they didn't score any tries. I thought we spoke at half-time about some of our line speed. We didn't feel it was good enough to start with in terms of getting off the line. So that was a big focus for us at half-time, just making sure that we were a little bit more aggressive the first 3 or 4 steps. We definitely improved in the second half with that. I thought Gareth Davies did a fantastic job in sort of leading that aspect of the game. But I thought our game management in terms of keeping the scoreboard ticking over. It was pretty close in the first 15-20 minutes, which all Test matches are going to be, because people don't lie down in that first period, and but we just grew into the game and got better. We've had a fantastic week in terms of the preparation, in terms of the clarity that we're trying to deliver to the players and the squad. I felt, and I spoke to the coaches during the week, and I said, we could be a reasonable team going forward.
And just to follow up on that, sorry, I don't know what the final stats were, but at half-time you'd made significantly more tackles than Australia. Is it fair to say that you're a comfortable side when you don't have the ball?
Oh no, we want the ball. But, I think the game at the moment, is we speak about, it's probably a little bit favoured to the defensive teams in terms of turnovers and stuff. Sometimes with Test match rugby, as you go through a period where, you might be defending for a period, but the momentum will change at some stage, and then how do you work on that and capitalise on that? And so I thought we were pretty clinical in a lot of areas. There's probably a few things in opposition 22 we need to tidy up in terms of creating a bit more width. We got a little bit narrow at times, but I thought we were that first line out stuff where Jack's gone through and then passed to Gareth. I thought we were sharp there. We created some opportunities, and they never really threatened us from an attacking perspective, which was very pleasing from our side of our point of view.
Thanks, Warren. Yeah.
Warren, just a word on Gareth Anscombe and the way that he managed the game, coming on after just 10 minutes and doing as well as he did.
Yeah, I thought, we went with Gareth in terms of his experience. He wasn't 100% happy with his game last week. We know he's come back from injury and had been underdone and stuff, and hadn't had a lot of the preparation time with the squad in terms of when he broke his thumb. but we went with that experience, and I think he really stepped up tonight, and probably last week's game was one that he needed under his belt to get through that. I thought he defended well, made some really telling tackles, kept the scoreboard ticking over with threes and the drop goal as well, and so it was a pleasing performance from him.
Hi, Warren. Can I just check on Dan Bigger's injury? How is he and what injury?
Yeah, Dan's got he's stretched his pec, so we're not too sure. I haven't spoken to the medics, but I spoke to Dan, and they're saying it's probably a couple of weeks. So we've got 13 days break now between before we take on Georgia. So that potentially rules them out of maybe that match, just to recover. So it's not a significant injury, but it's just a pec strain.
And can I just ask a follow-up? Only a few months ago you had a team that was on the verge of going on strike and divided, in your own words. Can you just talk a bit about the job you've done to the turnaround and to get the team into the quarterfinals?
Look, there was a lot of things going on before the Six Nations, and then contract issues and players being offered, and for them, just understanding the frustrations from them in terms of their security and future and families and stuff. And I fully understood that, and probably I didn't realise at the time the impact that had on the coaching staff, and probably even myself. I kind of went, I've just got to sit back and let things unfold, and potentially wait until after the Six Nations, and then when you can get a squad together. And we've been together nearly 4 months now. 4 months tomorrow, actually, when we first came into camp. And then you can put the detail and the preparation and the hard work, which we've always prided ourselves on, because we're such a small nation in terms of as a tier 1 nation in terms of our playing numbers, and we're proud of the fact that the success has been based on hard work and punching above our weight, and we get confidence from results like tonight and building momentum, and that makes us even more dangerous going forward. And so the guys have got 3 or 4 days off now, spend time with their loved ones and family, and then we assemble on Thursday again after they've had a bit of a break, and we start focusing and preparing for Georgia.
Warren, can you just say the man on your left, the role that he's played in that 4 months, and again tonight the performance that he had?
I think he's. I'll be a little embarrassed. I think he's growing into this role. It takes a little bit of time. He's still a young man, and I kind of threw him in at the deep end, but he's been absolutely outstanding. I said to him on the way here, I thought he spoke brilliantly during the week, spoke well yesterday and today, and just a huge amount of admiration for him. And I can't understand any of his Welsh, but he's definitely a player of the future. We're blessed at the moment with sevens in Wales, and we've got Jack, and having spoken to Jack earlier on, where do you see yourself? And he said he's a 7, and I know he's been playing 6 and can cover the back row. And then we've got Tommy Rafael and Tane Basham as well, and other quality loose forward number 7s in Wales. But he's definitely a player who leads from the front, and I thought he was outstanding tonight. I just thought he did exactly that, just led from the front, and it was a brilliant performance from him.
Warren, how far can you go in this tournament?
Hopefully we can make the quarterfinals. we haven't looked past anything yet. We've just kind of, it's been focused on one game at a time, and I know that Australia came into this game feeling confident about them winning. We came into this game, the preparation we've had, the clarity that we've had. We were very confident that we could produce a performance today, and I thought we were clinical. So looking at, I know there's a lot been spoken about the side of the draw, and it is what it is. We can't do anything about it. It's not our fault, and we kind of think that if we can get through to the quarterfinals and build on what we did tonight, taking on Georgia, which is going to be a tough physical challenge. We've got a quarterfinal, and then without looking further ahead, just one game at a time. So our focus next week when we come in on Thursday will be all about focusing on Georgia, a team that we lost against in the autumn, and we need to rectify that, and we need to make sure that we don't drop our standards going forward. And I think these players are well aware of that. They've worked it incredibly hard, and the message today wasn't about the starting 15 or the 23. It's a squad of 33 coaches and staff. Everyone's made a lot of sacrifices in the last 4 months. We've got some great people in this environment, and a lot of family and loved ones that have been following us as well. So it was kind of the message from me before the game is you get what you deserve. You get what you deserve in life from putting the hard work and effort into doing things. That we've been through some pain, we've been through some tough times. We've pushed the players right to the edge in terms of the physical demands that we've put on them, and they've fronted. And I think we've got a brilliant balance within this group in terms of when they're off the field, they're taking the mickey out of each other. There's some real banter and stuff, and which has been brilliant for the squad. But when we ask them to front up and perform at trainings, they get their heads on and they knuckle down. And so, I'm really happy with the environment that we've got at the moment and how positive that is. And hopefully that continues over the next number of weeks.
Thanks. Just time for two more, which is one on the left and one here on the right in the red.
Warren, congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you just tell us a little bit about Australian rugby and where you think it's at? It's clearly going to be reassessing a lot of things, including Eddie Jones's position. Do you feel like the struggles that the Wallabies in Australian rugby are experiencing are a coaching issue, or is it wider than an Eddie Jones thing?
That's a difficult one. I think, having been involved in the sort of the last three years in terms of Super Rugby back in New Zealand, there's definitely a dominance of the New Zealand teams in terms of that competition, but Wales isn't really much different to Australia. We've got regional teams that need to step up and perform and get better, and I think the same thing is for the Super Rugby sides in Australia as well. And so if you can get performances, results, get to quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, then that has a huge positive impact on the national team in terms of players coming in with a bit of a spring in their step and confidence. So I think that's the first start. That I think with Australian rugby is just to focus on your Super Rugby stuff and get quality players in there and quality coaches doing a job. We've definitely got to do that in Wales as well. We need to start making sure that our regional teams start making quarterfinals and semi-finals in the URC and hopefully in Europe. But that takes a little bit of time. We've probably been the anomaly in the past, and maybe we are at the moment, but because there's huge expectations on the national team to be successful, to make quarterfinals or semi-finals and World Cups. And I think that potentially that's a big part of my role going forward. it has been fractured in the past in Wales in terms of that relationship between the national team and the regions in terms of trying to get everyone on the same page. And, you know, I've personally found that difficult, so I'm not 100% sure about where Australian rugby goes in terms of that, trying to create that continuity between the national team and the Super Rugby sides. We need to be better at that in Wales, and hopefully there's a chance with the issues that we've gone through in the last 6 months that we can have a reset and then we can start thinking about a much more cohesive approach with the national team and with the regions. And if we can do that, then, you know, we can probably be a lot more successful in club rugby. And it's, you know, I'm looking from the outside, but it's probably something that Australia needs to, you know, potentially do, because they've definitely got some quality players and a young squad. And, you know, we had 400 more caps out there today and a bit more experience with some really talented youthful players coming through. I mean, Eddie's taken enough stick this week, and I suppose he's going to get a bit more over the next couple of days. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Okay, thank you. The last question will be in Welsh for yourself, Jack.
Jack, beth oedd y fuddugoliaeth yn golygu chi heno? Pa mor bles oedd y ti ar perfformiad?
O'n i'n bles iawn dy'r perfformiad yna. Mae boys i gyd yn gallu bod prowd iawn o'r buddugoliaeth yna. Ni wedi bod yn gweithio'n galed am dros y 4 mis diwetha. Oedd e'n braf iawn i cael y buddugoliaeth gyda fan o gwaith caled ni wedi gwneud. Dim ond y tîm oedd mas na heddi, ond y garfan i gyd a'r staff i gyd efo yn y background sydd wedi helpu pawb. Mae'n meddwl dipyn.
A faint o hwb yw gwybod bod chi trwyddo'r chwarteri nawr cyn gwynebu Georgia?
Mae'n bles i cyrraedd y lefel na, ond ni fel ni'n gwneud yn y gemau cyntaf, ni wedi bod yn cymryd o game i game, so ni cwpl o dyddiau nawr i ymlacio a wedyn nôl mewn i fe, a wedyn mae'r ffocws yn o Georgia wedyn mewn pythefnos amser.
Thank you, Warren. Thank you, Jack. The mix zone will be open in 2 minutes' time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.